Today, we have a lightsaber tutorial. I know that's nothing new, but this is a lightsaber tutorial to fight with yourself.
It's also going to be filmed entirely on the LG V10 smartphone in Ultra HD, which is about 4K, 24 frames a second, which is awesome for a smartphone to be recorded. That's really cinematic looking. I think it's going to look really good. Also going to use this really awesome toy sword that we had for 4th of July, but you can use anything. First thing I did is choose a center point that I'm not going to move past. Then I'm going to do my timing with my sword. I want to count to 5 before I make the clash in the middle. Do the same thing with this side. I want to take some steps in. Then I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the timing doesn't have to be perfect, but it'll help you a lot in the post. Okay, so I've started my sequence. And the nice thing about Adobe Premiere Pro Creative Cloud 2015 is it'll automatically detect my settings. It doesn't ask me ahead of time. So I'm going to pull up my video here. This is my lightsaber battle with myself that I recorded all in one setting. I scroll through and I find my in point and my out point. My out point I want to be exactly when my sword stops, my lightsaber stops moving, and we have our last movement for our lightsaber. It looks like a clash. I want to find my clash. There's my clash. In point and out point. Okay, I'm going to bring this down into my sequence. It's going to auto detect my settings, and I am shooting 4K. I use my cell phone, LG V10, just for this demonstration. Alright, I come up, I move positions in my video, and I want to get myself into my walk-in. And I want to stop on my clash. Right there. There's my clash. Okay, I'm going to move these things out, this out to the middle just a little bit to give myself a little bit of room to work. But I know that these right there are the ends. Okay. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to come to our top set of footage here. And I want to search for crop. It's under transform, crop. Now I know you could do this in After Effects easier or maybe better. It's not the point. This is so we can do it in Adobe Premiere Pro. So we put crop on our top footage. We're going to crop this left side over until I see myself. I actually want to crop it like right to the middle of the sidewalk there where I know our swords clash. Then I want to go to edge feather. I don't know. 20 should be good. And let's watch it. Yep. So sequence. And we're going to need to add a track. We have 2 lightsabers. So we need 2 tracks for our lightsabers. So we're going to come to title, new title. I'm going to call this one Left Saber. Okay. On Left Saber, I want this to be a background. I want it to be a solid color. But for right now, we're going to make it white. We'll give it a color a little bit later, but right now it's going to be white. And that's all. Title, new, all still. Lightsaber. Okay. We're going to want this to also be a background. We're going to make it white also. Doesn't have to be a perfect white value, just make it white. Alright. And I'm going to close that. This is my left lightsaber. So I'm going to drag it there. Of course, it's going to make my entire thing white. I keep this as simple as possible. So we're going to go back to our crop again. We're going to pull it onto our left saber. We're going to take our scale of our left saber down to 50. That's going to be a lightsaber, believe it or not. Now here's our controls for our crop. Make it a little bit more lightsaber-y shaped. More like that. And more like that. We'll feather this edge. Just kind of give us an idea there. Now, we're going to take our rotation and our position. Now we're going to need to take the scale down a little more. Our rotation is not quite where I want to be. Scale it down a little more. Okay, it's okay for now. Feather the edge out a little more than that. I'm going to bring the right in. Sorry, I forget which one it is. I'm going to make it just a little skinnier. Just a little skinnier. Alright, that's pretty good. Okay, and that's what we wanted. We wanted it to be a little longer than our actual lightsaber. Okay, so I've got that guy going. Now we're going to keyframe our position, our scale. We'll just keyframe all of this just to be safe in case we want to change stuff as we go. Now our opacity. I'm going to take our opacity down just a little to give it that more of a light kind of look. Looks pretty good. Pretty good. Now you can add your color to your lightsaber now if you want to. You can do some things with it now if you want to, but you don't have to. Red, some sheen. Kind of a black sheen to it. Maybe not. Now that we've changed our color, we can see the other lightsaber through it a little bit. I'm not crazy about that. So I'll go back to my opacity. Take it up a little bit. And place it a little better. So here comes some work, guys. Here it comes. So every one of these keyframes, every one of these frames, we have to individually move our lightsaber. Now we've got it keyframed, so we know that it's going to remember our keyframes as we go, but for every movement, every step we take, so the bigger that you make your screen here, the better off you're going to be, the easier it's going to be for you. But this will probably take you a while. So I'm going to pause the video as I go through each one of these carefully. Okay, so you can see it's coming along pretty good. Back it up here and get you a little idea of what I've got going on. coming along pretty good. You can see my keyframes in there. Got it pretty nice. But now I'm coming along to a point. You can see the angle of my saber is going to start changing. When it goes toward the camera, it's going to appear to be a little shorter. So it's not a big deal. So what I'm going to do is come where I've got the right crop set to 57. I'm going to start cropping it just a little harder. $60. And as I move on to my next position, it's a little toward the camera. Get myself placed. My rotation is right, and make sure you set the keyframes onto all these, and constantly go back and check your work to make sure you're getting these placements right, because you may get halfway through and realize it's not very good. So you want to, alright, so I take it up to maybe 65 about right there. So now as my sword comes around toward the camera, it starts to look a little shorter and makes up for the perspective and distance. Now there are other effects to do this, like perspective, basic 3D, but you know, I'm trying to do this as simple as I can, the best simple way to do it in Premiere Pro, and come up with a good effect as quickly as possible. This is not a quick effect by any means, but you know, we're doing it the best we can. All right, so I've got my left saber movement pretty good. It wants to buffer a little bit there on me, but it's okay. So I've got it looking pretty good. Now with my right saber, I want to work backwards from my last frame back. So let's put my right saber. I'm going to go ahead and give it a color. You don't have to at this point, but I don't know, it's just more fun. Let's give it a blue. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull it down here. We're going to give it a crop. Sorry, first we're going to, first we're going to 50%. Then we're going to give it a crop. Now if we want to, we can go back at our left saber, look at our crop numbers. 31, 57, 67. All right. And we feathered this quite a bit. There we go. And we want to turn on our keyframes for all this stuff. And we're ready to do exactly what we did before. Let's go. Okay, our scale on our other sword is 27, so we're going to do that here too. There we go. Okay, so if you wanted to, you could probably just add some sound effects and leave it here and call it your lightsaber effect. I got the tracking okay. Not perfect, but yeah, it's okay. The more time you take, the better you can get it. But we're going to add some more stuff. Here we go. We're going to add is turbulent displacement to both lightsabers. Let's come over here. Let's put on the left lightsaber first. We've got our turbulent displacement there. You can see it's making the lightsaber look a little too weird. I'm going to take the amount down to about 35. I'll take the size down to about 80-ish, somewhere there. But I'm going to take the complexity up a little bit and maybe evolution up. Oh, come here. 2 degrees. Let's see what that does to my sword. Oh, that's neat. Does some cool stuff there to it. Makes it look like more it's a glowing, moving object. Now, we're going to put some keyframes in there in just a second. But we're going to do the same thing over here. 34, 79, that kind of stuff. Doesn't have to be exactly the same. Keyframes, because we don't want this to be a static, crooked sword. So, our amount, our size, our offset, our complexity, evolution, just keyframe them all. So, move a little bit in this way. And we're going to change our amount down a little bit, our size down a little bit. We'll offset it just a little in each direction. Tear complexity up a little farther. Let's take this back up above 30. Let's take this back up. Complexity down. Evolution up. And what we're trying to make is a sword that looks a little less stable. It seemed like on the newer movie the sword looks a lot less stable. And that's what we're going to go for. Is a flowing kind of look. We're just messing with the numbers. Not changing any one of them terribly, but just enough to where we can get an interesting look. And we're going to do that with both swords. Now we need to add some sound effects. Now on Sound Bible, I found a free sound effect for lightsaber turn on. Use it. And Ride of the Valkyries by Wagner. It was on the YouTube. Free, no attribution required. So I want to add these into my composition. So here's what I got so far. Now I want to make it look a little more cinematic. So I want to try a couple of presets. See what happens. Just CineSpace 100. What does that look like? One of the cool things is that we did shoot this in 4K. So we can also do a lot of zoom, a lot of motion, a lot of movement around. So we're going to start, maybe zoom more in on the guy on the left. I guess on the me on the left. And then kind of quickly pull it back out. Let me see the other me walking in. As we meet and get in a little closer, I want the, of course, I should have had the keyframe going for this whole time, and I did not. So we're going to go back again. Okay. As it goes in, zoom. The left me. Now what this is great is I can go to 150%, and as long as I'm going to 1080p, not lose any quality or detail. That's why I wanted to shoot it at 4K. Alright, now we're both about to both guys. Both me's. Now, as the sword comes up, I want to create a little bit of movement there. So we want to use our camera movement to make a little bit of interest. So feel free to play with the color correction, different plugins, make it look the way you want it to. I put some bars on the top and bottom of mine. It's make it look more cinematic. Listen, I hope you like this video and I hope it helps you. If it does, subscribe. Check out some more videos coming. Thank you very much.